And is there any insurances the customer has to take out, or what's the insurances required for these sorts of jobs?
Yeah, so they'll get a homeowner insurance. So it obviously insures them in case, we go insolvent or go missing or unfortunately die. So on the average on our jobs, it's probably around $500 a job at the moment. Yep. But it just gives them a peace of mind that they're covered in case, you hear it all the time that these builders go missing. So
You do. And I should point out for customers as well that we also said earlier, but the Gyms Group work guarantee is unlimited as well, which will help if something ever does happen on top of that. So Marley, thank you very much today for joining us on the Gyms Group podcast. And if anyone's watching this, we obviously have the BIM bathrooms and resurfacing division, which has been building very nicely. So let's start with a bit about yourself. So what were you doing prior to Gyms Bathrooms, and then maybe why did you decide to get involved with the Gyms Bathrooms brand?
Well, originally I was a carpenter. I did that for about 10 years, and then I sort of moved into the commercial side of things. And then from there, I went into site management. So for about the last 5 or 6 years, I've been a site manager for a commercial construction company. And yeah, recently a job that I was supposed to start sort of pushed out 6 months. So I was made redundant. My job was there, but it wasn't until later this year. Being that I was a registered builder, I thought I might as well do something with it now, because if I don't, I'll just go back to the same job and that'll sort of be me for the rest of my working life anyway. So yeah, decided to jump online and have a look at a few franchises that were out there, and Gyms was the one that sort of appealed to me the most.
I'm sure a lot of people who hear this can relate to what you're saying. You probably it can be very scary as well to do what you're doing. It's very uncertain. So what helped you make your decision a bit better? Was there some research you did, or talking to franchisees in the division, or how did you make the decision easy for yourself?
Look, I sort of did a bit of research on it. I had a pretty good chat with Steve as well. That put me at ease. Look, I don't really mind taking a risk. It was more trying to get the missus around to it.
Oh, okay, right.
She was the one that was a little bit more concerned, but yeah, so far so good. So
well, that's a common thing that people want to do it, and then their partner might have a bit more concerns about it. What was maybe your partner's concerns about it, or how will they put it at ease?
I think she knew prior I'd run my own business in carpentry, and she was always worried about the fact that we'll chase money from builders. But I try to explain to her it's on the other foot this time. We are the actual builder. So she still wasn't 100% sold when we started, but now that we have started, she's more than happy.
That's good. So how was the training then for you? Having run a business before, how was the training coming down to Melbourne to do that?
Yeah, look, it was good. There was a lot of information in there that was obviously handy regarding the franchise side of things, customer service, all that sort of stuff. There probably is a little bit of stuff in there that's sort of irrelevant to our division, being that we're sort of, licensed, registered builders. It's sort of a little bit different to, your mowing and stuff like that. But no, look, it's all useful information that you get.
That's good to hear. Was there anything from training you took away and put into practice when you went back into your own business?
Yeah, look, there's probably a little bit of the bookkeeping side of things and keeping on top of the gyms apps and stuff like that. Just getting used to them, but it's all. To be honest, I'm still getting used to them, but it does definitely help keep your schedule, keep your clients. Yeah, it's good. It is good.
And how busy have you been as a franchisee? How many total jobs are you doing every month, maybe, or how busy has it been for you?
When did I start? I started on the 2nd of September, so we're 2.5 months. In saying that, I lost the first week that we started. I had no power because we had a storm that had come through. So, but yeah, since then I have 6 on the books and another 4 that I'm signing contracts with. So that's 10 jobs in the first 2.5 months on the books. And I was just having a look before. I've quoted 30, so pretty much about 3. Yeah.
Have you been happy with that sort of the quality of leads coming through and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just the conversion rate, like 1 out of 3, yeah, you wouldn't get if you were doing it on your own. Definitely having the name of the franchise behind you probably gets, at least 50% of them over the line, I reckon.
Well, I think with such a high ticket item, it's a lot of money people will put into it. I think, having that extra trust will definitely goes a long way. And Gyms Group work guarantee as well, I think, is a massive point of difference for customers to know when they use you guys over someone else as well.
Yeah, 100%. I had actually had one yesterday that I was local that I went and had a look at. I quoted it today, and she got back to me and said, yeah, I want to go ahead. So she was an older lady, but she said she'd used gyms in the past, gyms mowing and stuff like that. And she's more than happy with the brand. So there's a prime example of how it works for you.
That's great to hear that, especially as we're saying, especially in your area. I think when you need that trust, you need that trust level. And if someone uses it in a business, they've got to don't know, it's a bit of a gamble. Whereas with you guys, it's not really a gamble really, because you got yourself who's obviously really well qualified, but you have the Gyms Group work guarantee as well in place. And if something goes wrong, you guys will fix it and sort it out. So I think it's a massive point of difference for customers to actually know when they're looking at different quotes about that, because I think that's a massive thing when going with it.
Yeah, no, most definitely. As I said, that same lady, she said I was actually a couple of grand more expensive, but she wanted to go with us. So
yeah, no, great to hear. Now, what sort of jobs are you doing for customers? Obviously, it's bathroom renovation and all that sort of stuff. But like, are you doing full remods, or what are you sort of doing when you're doing these?
Yeah, pretty much all the jobs are full renovations. I've had one or two where we've just done a little bit of a partial, but yeah, I'd say not 95% of them are full renovations. So that'll be a full strip out and redo.
Now, what are some common questions that you get from customers regarding it? Like for someone, let's say, want to use Jim's bathrooms and resurfacing, they inquire, then obviously the lead comes through. Do you maybe want to walk them through the process? So how do you guys deal with them, and what's involved with getting it from, let's say, the lead to where you're in their house doing the job? What's the sort of process for customers?
Well, usually comes through on the phone. Obviously, we'll get the text message and an email with the lead. I try and call them back straight away. So within sort of a minute, most of the time people go, oh, geez, that was quick. That's a first step. Then I'll have a bit of a chat with them on the phone, just discuss what they want to do, what they want to accomplish with their bathroom. And then from there, we'll organise a day to come out, and it's usually within a day or two, we'll pop out and have a look. Same thing again, we'll sort of spend, half an hour, 45 minutes with them at their house, go through everything, exactly what they're trying to accomplish. And then, yeah, from there, we'll have a quote out to them within a day or two. And then it's completely up to them if they want to go ahead or whatnot.
Now, is there anything you can't do? Because I presume a lot of people might show you a photo on their phone of something on Instagram, or they might show you some sort of photo, and it sort of could be a far away from what they've got in their home. So is there anything you can't do, or how do you sort of work with that?
Not really. As long as it's to Australian standards and, compliant, we can do whatever. We can do whole house renovations, not just bathrooms.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we're registered builders, so
okay.
In order to do bathroom renovations, you have to be a registered builder. That's where you find a lot of people. There's a lot of dodgy people out there that are trying to undercut. That's another thing that I give clients, is as much information as possible, especially older people, about deposits and stuff like that, because you'll find a lot of people are trying to claim 50% deposits and stuff like that, which you're not actually allowed to do. So yeah, as much information as possible.
I think it's 5% or something, or what's the limit?
Yeah, so if the job's over 20,000, it's 5%. And under 20, you can claim 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think as well, with a lot of independents, can't say percent, but making sure that the actual trades they use on site as well are properly registered and all that sort of thing, I guess. Yeah. Could be sometimes they might be not registered and they bring people on all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. We've got to warranty our work. So you got to make sure everyone's licensed now, can sign off on their work as well. So,
and is there any insurances the customer has to take out, or what's the insurances required for these sorts of jobs?
Yeah, so they'll get a homeowner insurance. So it obviously insures them in case, we go insolvent or go missing or unfortunately die. So on the average on our jobs, it's probably around $500 a job at the moment. But it just gives them a peace of mind that they're covered in case, you hear it all the time that these builders go missing. So
You do. And I should point out for customers as well that we also said earlier, but the Gyms Group work guarantee is unlimited as well, which will help if something ever does happen on top of that. So touch wood, nothing happens, but we do have the extra thing. And I think it's really important to keep repeating that point for customers, because if they're looking at multiple quotes, I just think having that there, if we're not the cheapest or whatever, it's worth going with us for that extra security as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I was going to say as well, what's the sort of average range of price for bathrooms now? I know it can go to different price ranges, but what's sort of the average renovation cost looking like for your customers anyway?
Yeah, it is a bit of a loaded question because there's so many variables, but on average, you're probably 18 to 25 at the moment.
Which it's pretty reasonable. I think when I hear that, yeah.
But you can go high end, or you can go a little bit cheaper as well. So I'm pretty sure you'll find across the board, doesn't matter where you go, that's about the average at the moment, give or take. Yeah,
I think that's pretty reasonable because I think if someone's going to sell a home or something like that, I think the bathroom and the kitchens are the two areas where people will always look at sort of first. And I think like if you're going to sell a property or something, and your bathroom's a bit drip and drab, I think a renovation can definitely help with the sales price. And the reason why I mentioned that, I was speaking with two other franchisees in your division. They talked to real estate agents a bit, and I was saying to them that's the bathrooms and the kitchens which will add value to the home. Is that something you sort of hear about or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I've renovated a few houses and flipped them. So they're definitely your sales points. Usually kitchens are in your living area. So it's sort of the vocal point of your house. And then bathrooms. Everyone knows bathrooms, one of the more expensive rooms to renovate. If you renovate that in your house, or if you go to sell, adds instant value.
Yeah.
And it can be quite a lot of money as well.
Well, what's an example of that for like how much money could it add potentially, or maybe just from your own experience, sort of an estimate?
Oh, look away.
And that's hard. And that's a hard question, but it is hard because I've spoken to other franchisees and owners have told different things. And I think it's a really good point to point out to customers that if they're going to look at doing something to increase the property value of their home, something like this is probably a good option.
Yeah, look, just a safe estimate. If you were to put $25,000 into a bathroom, you would double that in your house. Yeah, definitely. You'd put $50,000 on your house value. I know that's probably being conservative as well. So
really,
yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. And I was going to say as well, do you guys offer payment plans or anything like that, or what do you have available for customers?
Yeah, we got Jim's payment plan. One right up to $25,000.
Oh, really? Up to $25,000?
Yeah. 12 months interest free, monthly installments, I believe it is.
Okay, that's pretty good. Has anyone taken that offer up yet with you guys, or?
I've had a few inquire, none as of yet, but yeah, you definitely get asked about it a fair bit.
And what about trends with bathrooms at the moment? Is there any particular types of style or fixtures that customers are asking for, or what's sort of on trend at the moment?
Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of greys in the tiles at the moment. I think that's been around for a couple of years now. It all depends on the bathroom. You get people are sort of starting to steer away from the black fittings and fixtures. Starting to get a few more like brasses and golds and stuff like that. Yeah, it all depends. Depends where the house is as well. You know, we do right down to the peninsula, and you'll find they'll go more of a coastal, beachy sort of theme and stuff like that with their bathrooms. So it's actually funny, depending on the demographic of where you are, how the actual bathrooms will change.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So more coastal, more lighter colours maybe, or what's the just?
Sort of your timber clad vanities and stuff like that. Your lighter colours. Yeah, you'll get a lot of gold fittings and fixtures and stuff like that.
Awesome. I was going to say as well then, with what you're doing, what's like the rough time frames on these sorts of things? I presume you get asked that. Like, is it a 3-week sort of thing or an average, or is it 4-week, or what can a customer expect when they get it right? Want to go ahead with your quote? Marley's quote I want to go ahead with. What's the process from there?
Yeah, so we'll go in and we'll sign a building contract with them. And lock in a date, and in the building contract, it will have our set amount of time in it. That'll include any RDOs, weekends, stuff like that. It's all included in the time frame. Usually, on average, I sort of allow 4.5 weeks. But if everything's lined up and you've sort of got all your materials and that in order, you can do them in 2 weeks.
Oh, really? That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And what are some? And obviously, you've already done some transformations for clients at the moment. Is there any ones that stand out here, or?
Look, I've done a couple of partials. I've got 2 full renovations, which are about to be handed over the end of this week. There's one that I'm doing at the moment for a lady that was in bad shape, had to rip the whole floor up. The walls and everything were terrible. So that'll be a really good transformation compared to what she had.
I think a lot of people are more conscious now online about builders workmanship, because there's obviously a lot of YouTube channels and stuff who show waterproofing issues and stuff like that. So what are some things that people should look out for, should know anyway, when they go through the process about it? And maybe what's the extra peace of mind with using you guys, for example, especially around waterproofing or things not being done right, that sort of stuff?
So when we waterproof, it has to be signed off. So you'll get a certificate of waterproofing on completion. And they're all, it's a license, well, not a license. It's not a licensed trade actually in Victoria, but you have to be compliant in it to do it. You have to be able to sign off on it. And in saying that as well, we have to warranty our work for, I think it's 5 years defects and 7 years structural. So have that peace of mind anyway, that it's under warranty for a number of years.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to point out for customers as well. And the great thing about it, you guys, there's someone to contact. I've heard some horror stories with people who might do a job or halfway do a job, and as you said before, might disappear for whatever reason, or they'll get back to someone, and customers don't have any recourse, whereas with gyms, they will always have someone to help out as well. And Marley, is there anything I haven't asked you that I should ask you about your division? I'm trying to act like a bathrooms expert. But I'm just the average punter with this stuff. So if there's anything I should be asking which I'm not, please let me know. But is there anything that customers maybe ask you all the time that you get asked? Or
look, probably the one thing I get asked the most is I didn't know gyms. Well, it's not really a question, but the statement is I didn't know gyms did bathrooms. Probably every second client I go to says that.
Yeah.
I know Steve's done a really good campaign for us, being that we're regional. At the moment, probably 50% of people are Googling and it's coming up, and that's the first thing they say to me when I walk in the door is, I didn't even know gyms did bathrooms. So.
Well, we do a lot of divisions, and even Jim doesn't know how many divisions we have. So it's a quite common thing about that. But Steve does a great job, and obviously you guys are on the Space Invaders TV show, which is going out in February again, which is a good national TV show. But I think the great thing with you guys is I think with just there, as you said, just that once they know it's gyms or associated with gyms and they've had a good experience, hopefully, or even if they haven't, they know the brand stands for something and will help them out. And I think with your industry, it's what customers really need and are willing to pay more for, is just to have that security. I guess that's what obviously you're finding. You gave a great sort of example of that before with that lady going ahead with you because of that fact. But we'll leave it there for today, Marley. Thank you very much for your time as well. I think we've interviewed most of the division now for gyms, bathrooms and resurfacing, so it's really good to hear. And it's great I'll tell you one thing for customers or anyone listening, the consistency amongst you guys is awesome because you all pretty much say similar things, and it's great to hear that consistency about your quality and also the expertise. Like all you guys have got so much building experience and different things like that as well. So a lot of the times, unfortunately, people might think the gyms person is just throwing their hand at bathrooms, and they don't realise there's 20 years or 15 years or 10 years of experience behind that person coming to do the job. So I just wanted to point that out. But no, if you need a bathroom renovation, for sure, gyms is the way to go. So appreciate you, Marley, for your time today.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks, Marley. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for listening to the episode of the Gyms podcast. If you want to learn more about the Gyms Group, head to gyms.net or call us on 131 546 Australia or 0800 454 654 New Zealand. And if you did like the episode as well, please make sure you leave a review or a comment or a thumbs up or a comment on the video as well. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.